Hello ladies, welcome back to the I've Decided challenge. We are on day 30. 30, oh my goodness, we are done with this challenge technically. Tomorrow we will do an end of the challenge celebration with the 2,500 subscriber live video. Where I will kind of go over all the 30 lessons that we learned in these 30 days and really consolidate everything so you get the most benefit and value from everything that I've been teaching in these video lessons. And I can't believe it. These 30 days have gone by so quickly, and I know for myself and the 3 affirmations I've chosen, I've seen so much proof in my 3D circumstances, but mostly within myself, that have really motivated me to continue this 30-day challenge. So what I'm actually going to do is every 30 days from now on, every month from now on, I'm going to pick 3 affirmations at the start of the month, and every day I'm going to do this 30-day challenge to myself. Day 1 is I'm deciding today that I am this, this, and that. Day 2, I decided one day ago I am already this, this, and that, right? Because I found that this pattern was so helpful. I don't know if you recall, but if you go back to day 1 of the video and day 2 and day 3 of our challenge, you see me kind of fumbling on my affirmations. You see me kind of like, I have to struggle to remember them. I have to work towards saying those affirmations as if they are a true statement, as if they truly are an assumption coming from the inside out, rather than trying to take an assumption in my brain and embody it. Whereas now, in the past several weeks, actually, it's been over 2 weeks, that those affirmations became so comfortable and natural for me. And this is because they sank in. Even though throughout the day I wasn't really thinking about them, I wasn't looking for evidence, I wasn't trying to do things to make me a healthy person, I wasn't trying to prove to myself that I'm good at manifesting, I wasn't trying or forcing any outcome that showed me all of my desires are here right now. I simply allowed the challenge to be on my subconscious mind. I allowed it to be one of the thoughts that came up in my head, just like all the many thoughts that do. And whenever it felt natural to me, if I was doing something like walking and I was walking really far, I actually walked the most this month than I have in any month of the year, because I had set that intention of I'm a healthy person. And I was reminding myself every day that I'm a healthy person. So when I did go for these walks, when I was traveling, I didn't have a car, so I was walking anyways. And I noticed, I was like, if I hadn't done this challenge, if I hadn't changed my behavior based on the identity of assuming I'm a healthy person, maybe I wouldn't have been able to walk and feel so healthy and feel so good in my body during these walks. I mean, I was going for like an 30 minutes to an hour walk almost every day this month. So it just goes to show, when you plant that seed, it starts to come about. Not only that, in the last 30 days, I have seen and in my reflection, in my mirror of the 3D circumstances, been reflected too, that I'm an expert at manifestation. I have had 2 videos that were general readings for people. They were general advice for people. However, both of them said I'm an expert in my field. Both of them said I already a master at what I do. And one of them even mentioned YouTube specifically and coaching specifically, and that was so it was so exciting to see that reflected. Even though I know how manifestation works, I know how law of assumption works, when I do get those positive experiences in my 3D, they just make me feel so good. I'm like, oh, this is really working, this is so awesome, it's fun, and it gets me to keep going. The other thing is, I did feel inspired to join a premium group coaching program. I've done a lot of work with with coaches in the past. In the beginning of my self-healing journey, I went to therapy, and then I found other modalities. I got mindset coaching, I got business coaching. I've taken several courses, both small ticket freebie courses, very affordable, $10 or less type of classes, courses, materials, less than $100, and then all the way up to a program that was thousands. So I've had definitely a lot of experiences receiving coaching and receiving information. However, I had never set the intention, which is kind of silly to say, but I had never set the intention that this is going to be the answer. This is going to allow me to quantum leap. This is going to push me forward really quickly. Whereas I didn't necessarily choose to set this intention. It just felt natural to me. It was inspired out of me. When I joined this monthly coaching club subscription, I was like, you know what? I just feel like this is going to help me get to that next level. I feel like I'm going to get the support that I need to really break out of some of my habits and my beliefs. Obviously, none of us coaching have everything in our lives figured out, but what we have figured out is how manifestation works. So we're constantly applying the law to our lives, and as we grow and progress, there are more things, there are more obstacles and challenges, there are more subconscious beliefs and patterns that we're unlocking, and so we're upgrading ourselves on a consistent basis. I am not immune to some of the struggles that my viewership and my coaching clients go through. A lot of times my coaching clients are going through something I have very personally experienced, and that's why I'm able to give this exact advice, because I've already been through it. And part of my commitment to my business and the Who Is She brand is continuously becoming the best version of myself. Today I'm already the best version of myself, but tomorrow's best version of me looks different. And a year from now, the best version of me looks different. And I am committed to being that so that I can serve from that place of leading by example and teaching from experience, because I feel those things are irreplaceable. I'm so dedicated to this cause of truly giving you insights from the experience, from the process, from the trial and error, because I know that it works. And I know that if I can do it and if I can see real results, then so can you. And that's part of being an expert at manifestation, is knowing where your weaknesses are, knowing where your flaws are, and manifesting your way out of them. So many things have happened in this coaching club for me already, the subscription. And actually, one of the fellow club members already affirmed to me that I'm an expert at manifestation. They affirmed to me that I'm a master at manifesting. And I was like, oh my goodness, one of my affirmations this month is I'm an expert at manifestation, and here you are reflecting it to me. And so that validation, I had already been giving myself that validation, but getting those external validation reminders to me are like jet fuel. It's like if you've been running on gasoline because you've been filling your own tank with gasoline, and then you just get like hit with this injection of intense fuel that motivates you even more and pushes you even more to elevate and take it to that next level. And that's what those things are for me. When I see the circumstances in my 3D show up, I'm already validating myself that it's working, that I feel good, that I'm seeing progress. And those are just like confidence boosters. So be on the lookout for that if you have not already experienced those during this challenge. And I know some of you already have. So that is so exciting. And as far as my third affirmation, which is experiencing everything I desire right now, the beautiful thing about that is moment to moment, we're going to shift our desires. I mean, I just had breakfast and a coffee and really enjoyed my morning, and it allowed me to put this good mood into my body, this good feeling into my body, so that I can film this video for you and be really excited and positive and show up for you. And that in itself is one of my desires being fulfilled, that I'm a successful businesswoman and I inspire other people and I radiate positive energy and I'm a lovable person and I'm a caring person. And the way I show up in my business is a reflection of all of that. So thank you for allowing me this opportunity to be that self, to be that version of myself, and show up for you all in a way that you feel supported and you feel like you're not going through this alone, and you feel like there is hope and you can persist in your manifestations until the desired outcome is here. So while I can acknowledge there's always going to be more to desire, the feeling within me, I feel like I have my desires right here, right now on day 30 of this challenge. So we are going to put our final affirmations down below for the month, which is 29 days ago, I decided 29 days ago, I decided I am a healthy person. 29 days ago, I decided I am an expert at manifestation. And 29 days ago, I decided I am already experiencing everything I desire right here, right now, in this present moment. My heart is so full. I feel so grateful for having the opportunity to share this experience with you and to teach you and to take you with me on my journey. It's been really fun, and honestly, I'm looking so forward to the next 3 months of the year and the opportunities that I can create in this business for each and every one of you to feel empowered and inspired to be your best self. So we are 10 minutes into the video. That is the awesome little celebration that we had. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. I know you've all been waiting for this lesson. I've had several requests from you to talk about this topic, which is revision. What is revision, and when should you use it, and how do you do it? So revision is the concept of going into the past. Something happened, a circumstance was unfavorable, an experience was negative for you, you didn't feel your best self, you felt like you could do better, or you want to change something for some reason, right? Maybe you want to change being broken up with. Maybe you want to change a health result you got from going to the hospital, a test result. Maybe you want to change a grade you got in school. Maybe you want to change an interaction you had with your specific person or your family in some way. Whatever it is, you can even change your childhood. You can change how you see your parents. You can change whether you felt like you were popular or not. You can change all of those things. And a lot of times, revision is taught as if we are going in and grabbing the memory and changing it and putting back in the memory bank. And while there is some scientific truth to that, which I will get into, that way of thinking about revision actually kept me so stuck. And I felt so defeated trying to revise in that way until this one thing clicked for me. And so I will tell you that one thing in a minute, but let's go on into how memory works. So memory is living in your body. It is living in your brain, in your consciousness. The way that memory works is a thought and a feeling are attached to a certain circumstance that you experience in your lived reality. And that memory gets stored with those same thoughts, those same opinions, and those same feelings. So trauma is one type of memory. Trauma gets stored in the soma, in the body, as those sensations, those feelings, which is why you can remember a time, like let's say you've lost a family pet when you were a child. You can go back to that memory and you feel the sadness, you feel the grief, you feel that bittersweet pain of, I loved that animal so much and I'm heartbroken that that animal is no longer present with us here. And every time you recall that memory, you feel those emotions. Now, let's say you have a specific memory about a person. Let's say this memory got stored as this person lied to you, right? So a negative experience with this person. When you remember that memory and you bring it up, you feel that betrayal in your body. You feel that upsetness, that anger or frustration. And now suddenly, let's say you learn a fact that that person actually didn't lie to you, that that person was telling the truth, that they were honest with you. And this whole time you stored that memory with anger and resentment. Well, now, because of this new fact, it changes your heart. It changes that feeling in your body. It changes that memory. So that memory that was living inside of you as it's being recalled gets changed. So now that you know that they didn't actually hurt you and they didn't actually betray you and they didn't actually lie to you, when you go back and remember that moment, you store it as a new memory. You store it as a changed memory. So memories are living. Memories are not permanent because every time we recall a memory, it's as if like every time you pick a book off the shelf in your library of memories, you erase one sentence and write another sentence. or you just write another sentence affirming what's already in there, or you just erase a part that was already in there. So you're altering the memory, and then you go put that memory back on in the library on the shelf, and you leave it alone until you recall it again for whatever reason. Well, because every time you pull that book from the shelf and you're editing it, you're erasing things, you're writing in new things, this can look like you lived that experience, but there was this fact that over time you forgot about. And then you talk to a sibling about that memory, and the sibling that you're sharing this memory with goes, do you remember when you did this? Or do you remember when that happened? And you're like, yeah, I do. And then they give you another detail and you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot that happened. And it jogs your memory. But what it's really doing is writing that new detail in the book of the memory. And so now when you go to put that book on the shelf and the next time you recall it, that detail will be there. Memory is, again, it's living. It is like a living document. It is constantly being altered. So this is why also eyewitness accounts in crime, in legal matters, are not reliable always, because the memory itself can be altered. The memory itself is subjective. So if it helps you to revise, knowing you're pulling the book off the shelf, you're opening the book up, you're erasing stuff that you don't want to remember, and you're writing new stuff, and then you store it on the shelf. If that idea, if that concept works for you, by all means, use that method of revision. Use that method to go back to the memory and change it. This method just didn't work for me, and I know that in itself is an assumption, but I tried it with so many things. I tried it in so many ways. I tried it on old SPs, current SP. I tried it on family and friends. I tried it with job situations, with money situations. I tried it with my childhood, and it really just didn't yield the results I was hoping for. The idea of me going back and changing my memory and putting it back on the shelf, like, I couldn't get unstuck from the old story. Every time I picked up the book, I would just read the old story again. I would try to add a few lines, I'd store it, and then the next time I brought the book back, the old story would still be there. And so that method it didn't click with my brain. However, this method of revising and this understanding of revision is what helped me. It is what was the key factor. So now I'm going to cover why we revise and when to use revision. So the purpose of revision is to do exactly that, actually, is like take the memory and rewrite it and put it back on the shelf rewritten. It is to change the outcome of life by altering that specific memory, that specific moment in time. However, that's not the only way to do it, and ultimately the end result that we're going for is a different present experience. We want to go back and change the memory because we know if that memory was different, if that event was different, this now moment would be different. So instead, if you're like me and that type of revision just doesn't work for you, what you have to do is go, okay, if this never happened, if this event never happened, if this fight never happened, if this trauma never happened, if this injury never happened, if this illness never happened, how would I feel right now? Who would I be right now? If you and your specific person never broke up, who would you be right now? How would you be acting? How would you wake up in the morning? What would you feel like? If you and your parent never had that fight, what would your relationship with your parent look like? How would they be talking to you? How would they be treating you? How would you view them as a parent? If you never lost your job or quit that job, what would your income look like? What would your financial stability look like? How would you spend money if you had not just been terminated from your job? How would you act? Who would you be if money wasn't an issue for you? Even if you didn't lose the job, if you're in a job that's just not covering your expenses, who would you be? This is what revision is all about. It is embodying the state of it's already done, which is why on day 30 we are talking about this revision as a technique or a method, because this challenge is I've decided it's already done. I've decided I already am who I say I am. So instead of manipulating the memory itself, your subconscious will work that out on its own. Trust me. I've been applying this method of revision for some time now, and it has worked so well for me. So instead of focusing on the old story, what is the new story now that that thing never happened? If you guys never fought, how are you treating each other today? If you had a fight last night, how are you treating each other this morning? How are you seeing them this morning? Are you telling yourself that they're so arrogant and selfish and they are disrespectful and they're rude and they never listen to you? Or, right, if we are living as though that fight never happened, are you telling yourself, wow, this person is so sweet to me. This person is always there for me. They love me so much. They're so caring and compassionate. They always show up for me the way that I need to be shown up for. And even if in the morning that situation still feels raw and you still feel those emotions, allow yourself to feel those emotions and know that you don't have to keep telling the story. You can say, you know what, I feel this way because I love myself. I feel hurt because I love them. I feel upset because I didn't get my way. I didn't get what I wanted. This didn't turn out how I hoped it did. But don't stay in the upset. And this is the main lesson of this 30-day challenge, is don't stay in the old story. Don't stay the old you. Don't ruminate. Don't be anxious and allow that circumstance to control you. This is your internal experience. We are acting from this place of, I've already decided that I'm forgiven. I've already decided that we never fight. I've already decided that money is not an issue for me. I've already decided that I am the woman of my dreams. I've already decided that I am the most confident and successful version of myself. And when you put yourself in that state, this is the idea of states, that state of being, the state of being confident and happy feels good. It feels amazing. And when Neville does talk about that feeling state, he's not just talking about the emotions, he's talking about in your body. When you wake up and you get out of bed and you look in the mirror and you dress yourself and you show up in the world as a confident person, it's not one singular emotion you're experiencing. It's a feeling that you're experiencing. In your physical body, your presence is projecting this energy of, I'm confident. I get compliments on my confidence all the time. And in fact, when I was younger, I had an assumption that because I was confident, other people were jealous of me. And because I was confident, other people felt intimidated by me. And that my energy pushed low self-esteem people out of my life and caused them to feel triggered, caused their ego to feel triggered, which led to those feelings of jealousy and resentment and embitterment and all of those things. So that's an assumption I had to work on. And obviously this was just based on my lived experience. I saw people treat me with jealousy and I was like, why? I'm just me. Like when I was younger, I had this confidence, but I also had a lot of self-worth and self-esteem issues. And so I could never understand, why are people pointing this jealousy or envy towards me? I didn't feel as though there was anything worthy of being envious about or jealous about in my life. But it was my confidence that I outwardly projected, that because it was so authentic, I knew people could feel it. That was my assumption about myself. So over the years, what I've done instead is to say, people are actually really inspired by my confidence. People love that I'm a confident person. People love the most confident version of myself, because the most confident version of myself is the best version. She is the version who wants everybody to win. The most confident version of me is the one who has love in her heart for everybody. She is the version of me who looks into the world and sees people in pain and just wants to help. She's the version of me who sees someone going through a struggle that she already went through, that she already overcame, and has faith, and you can borrow my confidence. As a coach, that's what I'm offering. In our coaching sessions, you are borrowing my confidence. You are seeing my light, and my confidence is helping you to see the confidence in yourself. And Simon Sinek actually has a really great lesson on confidence, and he breaks down the word confidence into I don't know how, I think it's confidere, which is like the Latin word. And it means together. Con means together, it means with. So when you are with me, even in these videos, when you are with me, if I am projecting my most confident self, you are with me in feeling that confidence. You are with me in feeling like your most confident self. You are inspired by my confidence. And those are all affirmations I am continuously injecting into my experience so that people feel good around me. I want the whole world to feel good in my presence. I want to be a light. I want to be hope, be inspiration, be motivation for people, because I genuinely do, and I've always felt this way even as a little girl. I want everybody to win, and I want everybody to be happy. And if world peace can exist, like, I want to be a part of that. I want to create environments and spaces where people do feel at peace with themselves. People can accept who they are. And so I have to consciously choose to come from a place of non-judgment and allow enough space for you to show up as your authentic self, and allow enough love and security in myself to be borrowed by you so that you feel love for yourself and you feel secure within yourself. And the more I can do that, and of course I'm not perfect at it, I'm not infallible, I do have my human experiences, and I do get triggered, and I do have low moments like anybody else. But the more intention I put into being that version of myself, the more I see it pay off in my reality. And again, this is what revision is all about. It is revising yourself to be here, now, in the present moment, who you have already decided you are. So use that to your advantage. Understand that whatever happened, like, I could live my life today as if I had a really traumatic childhood. And I can affirm confidently and securely, I did have a traumatic childhood. I did not walk away from my childhood with no scars. I did not walk away from my childhood with pristine mental health. I did not walk away with good physical health habits, good relationship health habits, good money habits. I didn't. I did not. However, I choose to not let that old version of myself affect me. I choose to be more powerful than those traumatic experiences. I choose to be committed to being my most confident and successful self despite that old story. And despite means like in spite of. In spite of that, even though I went through those experiences, they don't have power over me. They don't have a hold over me. And this is what revision can do for you. You're not revising what happened. You're revising how what happened is affecting you today. And I know that you can do it. And I know that if you persist in embodying this new version of yourself, treating your specific person as if whatever it is you're revising never happened, treating your money as if you never had to struggle with money, treating your body as if you never got those negative test results. And I personally have even affirmed for positive test results whenever I go into the hospital, even with things that I used to struggle with recurrently in the past. Now, every time I go to the hospital, every time I test, I'm always affirming, nope, I'm a healthy person. I'm a healthy person, and my test results always come back good. They are always normal test results. I always have good things, because I chose to revise that version of myself. So I hope and I intend and truly I believe, and I'm assuming that everything that I touched on today and everything that we've been able to cover in the last 30 days is guaranteed to allow you to become the version of you, allow you to embody that version of you, allow you to decide and declare today and every day from here on out, you are that version of yourself. It's already done for you. Again, going back to the inspiration for this challenge, as Abdullah taught Neville, you're already in Barbados. You are already there. You are already physically there. You just have to go there in your mind first. And then the physical will come, and then the circumstances will change. Revise yourself, and then your world will be revised. Thank you everyone who has participated in this challenge, and I will see you tomorrow during the live, our 2,500 subscriber party, and our final wrap of the challenge celebration. I will be offering prizes, so I'm super excited about that. There are going to be some giveaways in terms of product giveaways as well as coaching giveaways. And if you don't know, I only offer email coaching with pre-recorded video lessons at this time. So one of the prizes is going to be a one-to-one personal coaching session that you can only get if you are participating in the live. So I will do my best to figure out how to schedule that in YouTube. And finally, just thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for reflecting back to me my own beliefs and assumptions about how I'm running this business and what I'm able to do in the world and how many people I get to help and the way I get to help you all. I'm going to continue to invest in this business and invest in myself and share with you all my own progression, my own lessons learned the hard way, of course, and the tips and tricks that are helping me to truly embody being the best version of myself so that you can be the best version of yourself too. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your time with me. And honestly, thank you for showing up as your best self. If you are participating in any of these videos, even if you didn't do all 30 days, thank you. Thank you for trying. Thank you for doing your best to be your best. And I hope that you continue. I manifest that you continue so that you can be a light in this world the way you were always meant to be. I will catch you in the next one, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.